Christina Garrett.
And good afternoon. How old are you?
Just turned 30.
And when you say you just turned 30, when was your birthday?
August 15th.
Was that on Friday?
Friday. Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any siblings?
Yes.
How many?
I have one full, one half, both brothers.
Hang on, forgive me, yeah. Actually, normally I'm telling witnesses to scoot forward, but I think you're so far forward that you're talking past the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you'll just
Here?
scoot up towards the microphone so that you're
Okay.
in front of it to make sure that we can hear you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, now you said you have one full brother.
Correct.
What do you mean by when you say I have one full brother?
By the same mom and the same dad.
And who is what's the name of that brother?
Joey,
And who is your mother and your father?
Melissa and Chris Wolfenbarger.
And how old is Joey?
Turned 29 on July 5th,
And what year was he born?
1996.
And then you have a second, is that a half brother or sister?
Half brother,
What is his name?
Alias,
And what year was he born?
2006.
And do you all share the same father?
Correct.
Are you the oldest?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
Have you previously worked?
I have.
What type of work have you done?
I was a server at a steakhouse, and I worked in hotels briefly.
Are you married?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
3 boys.
Now, were you raised by Melissa Wolfenbarger or Christopher Wolfenbarger?
Christopher Wolfenbarger's parents raised me.
And what are their names?
Kathy and Alan.
These are Chris's parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's their last name?
Wolfenbarger.
Your Honor, we can't see the demonstrative. It'd be helpful if we could all see it.
Your Honor, if you put it up there, they won't be able to see the witness. So
Well, it will block the jury door. We'll have to move it, but if you want to put it there, then everybody would be able to see it, and possibly the only person that with their back to it would be you.
okay,
If you put it there to the left of the TV screen.
okay. I'll have them do it while I continue to ask questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And did you have a name for Alan?
Yes, I called him Boo. B-O-O.
And have you always called him Boo?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were younger, what, if anything, did you call Kat?
At first, Mom.
And at some point in time, did that change from calling her mom?
It did. Okay.
When you were younger, who did you think was your biological mother?
Chris's parents.
Did you think that Alan was your father as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you think Kat was your mother?
That was my earliest memories were with her and with Boo.
When you were younger, did anyone ever tell you that Kathy was not your biological mother?
No.
When you were younger, did Kathy ever talk to you about Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Did Alan ever talk to you about Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Now, at any point in time, did you ever live with anyone else besides Kathy or Alan?
I didn't go stay with Chris until senior year of high school, but until then, I lived with both of them.
I apologize.
Same.
No, you're fine. Just try and keep your voice up a little bit because Miss
sorry.
Cantrell and I have our back. You have your back to us.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, do Kathy and Boo have any other children?
They had Chris and then his sister, Kimberly, who we called Kitty.
Who's older, Chris or Kitty?
Chris,
And you said Kitty's name is Kimberly?
Kimberly. Yes, ma'am.
When you were younger, who did you think Chris and Kimberly struck at? What relationship did you think that Chris and Kimberly were to you?
Older siblings.
Now, at any point in time, did you ever meet Kathy's parents?
Yes.
And tell the jurors, what is Kathy's parents' mother's name?
Virginia Autry. We called her Nanny.
And then what is Kathy's father's name?
William Autry. We called him Papa.
And what did you call Virginia?
Nanny. Yes, ma'am.
When you were younger, what relationship did you think you had with Virginia and William?
Those are my grandparents.
Excuse my handwriting.
You're totally fine.
Now, when you were younger, did you have an understanding of the term great granddaughter?
No, ma'am.
Had you heard that term?
I would hear my nanny tell other people that I was her great granddaughter.
And what was your
But not ever
understanding
did.
of what Nana was telling other people?
I thought that meant out of all of her grandchildren that I was her favorite.
You thought that you were the favorite, you were the greatest and the best.
Yes.
Now, where were you raised?
With Kathy in Locust Grove.
And is that down in Henry County?
It is in Henry County.
And who lived in the house with you when you were younger?
At the time, it was Kathy and Boo, and also Kitty, me, Joey. Kitty was also with a man named Philip, and they had a baby, Tristan. I'm sorry.
So you said it was Kathy, what was Kitty's boyfriend?
She was with a man, Philip, and they had Tristan.
And then you and Joey?
And then me and my brother Joey. Yes, ma'am.
And what did they call you?
Chrissy.
Now, your Nana and Pawpaw, where do they live?
Stockbridge.
Now, to your knowledge, when you were younger, did your family have property in the city of Atlanta?
Yes.
How did you become aware that your family had property in the city of Atlanta?
Nanny and Kathy would take us up there to check on the properties.
Do you know where the properties were?
Brookline, off of Avon Avenue.
Do you know how many properties that they have on Brookline?
I know of at least 3.
All on Brookline?
Yes, ma'am. Across the road from each other.
Speak up, bro.
I'm sorry, across the road from each other.
And you said 2 of them were across the street from each other.
They were.
Did you have any family that lived in any of those 3 houses?
As far as I know, it was only family in the house.
Only family. Who lived on Brookline? What family members?
There was Nene and Pawpaw's first son, Ricky.
Okay,
One of Nene's brothers.
do you know his name?
It was either Roy or Troy. They were twins, and I'm not sure which one of the twins.
Anyone else?
And then my parents had the other property.
Your parents had the other property.
Hmm.
And we said your parents talking about Melissa and
Chris and Melissa, yes.
Now I want to talk about your childhood, probably somewhere between the ages of 8 and
Okay.
younger, okay?
Okay.
That period of your childhood. And what year were you born?
1995.
So around 2003.
Okay.
Okay. What was your relationship like with Chris?
I didn't know him at the time until he came to visit Kathy at her Locust Grove house.
You said you didn't know him at the time?
No,
And you said not until he came to visit at Kathy's house.
he came to talk with Kathy. I'm not sure what for, but they were just talking, and I happened to be there at the time.
When he would come over and talk to Kathy, would he spend time with you?
Very little.
Your earliest memory about how old do you think you are?
Would have been about 5.
At that time, when you saw him coming to speak to Kathy around 5 years old, did you know he was your biological father?
No, ma'am.
At any point in your childhood, between 5 and 8, did you come to learn that he was your biological father?
Yes, I was told by Kathy he was my dad after that visit.
At that time, once you learned that Chris was your father, did you know who your mother, your biological mother was?
No, ma'am.
Did Kathy or Chris ever explain to you at that time who your biological mother was?
No, ma'am.
As a child, what did you think about Chris being your father and now Kathy being your mother, as you thought in your head at that time?
It was very confusing. Didn't make sense.
Why?
It just seemed odd. I thought Boo was my dad, so.
Now, do you have any memory of Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Now, when you were younger, did you ever see any pictures of Melissa?
I saw a picture that had been behind the door and it got taken down.
Behind the door,
The front door of Kathy's house.
about how old were you, do you think, when you saw this picture behind the door?
About 5.
And when you say behind the door, is this the bedroom door, bathroom door, kitchen door?
The living room door.
And explain when you say behind the door, is it like a picture that was on the door, on the wall, or something?
It was on the wall behind the door.
Why do you think that was a picture of your mother?
It was a picture of me and my brother, very small, and it was when I saw that there was Chris, the man that I had just seen, was also there posed as the dad, and there was another woman that I didn't recognize.
Did you ever ask anyone about that picture?
Yes,
Who did you ask?
Kathy.
At this point, do you remember any response that Kathy gave about that picture?
She took the picture down.
Before taking the picture down, did she explain who the lady was in the picture?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see any other pictures with that lady between that age of 5 and 8?
I found them probably closer to it being 8 or 9 in Kathy's closet.
When you said they were in Kathy's closet, describe to the jury what you're talking about.
So in the top of the master closet, it was a walk-in closet. She had lots of photo albums. So I pulled some down, started going through the pictures, and saw a lot more pictures of the same woman that had been in that picture.
And when you saw these photos of that same woman, what did you do?
Wanted to go to Kathy and ask her about them.
And did you, I'm sorry.
Just that she packed them up. She didn't want to talk about it.
So I'm saying clearly, after you saw the pictures, you went and asked Kathy about those pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she ever give you explanations as to who that person was?
No, ma'am.
What did she do with the pictures after you asked her about them?
She took the photo albums and moved them to a shed in the backyard.
So that removing them from her closet and taking them outside of the house into a shed.
The shed was actually a locked shed, and the key to the shed was in Boo's room, separate from the master room.
After she took those pictures and put them in the shed and locked them, did you ever see those pictures ever again?
No, ma'am.
After not seeing those pictures, did you ever see any other pictures of your mother?
I did get some pictures from Nanny. She had some at her house, but she let me have copies of them.
That she did let you have copies?
She did.
Now, did Nanny ever explain to you who the lady was in those pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you learned who your mother was?
Yes, ma'am.
Without telling me what Nana said, was Nana ever able to tell you about the relationship between your biological mother and Chris?
She explained it was very troubled.
Do you have any knowledge as to whether or not Chris and Melissa lived with your Nana?
Yes.
Did they ever live with your Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Not before 2003. I would have been much older.
around 2003, how did you come to learn about Melissa's parents?
At the funeral.
When you say the funeral, what funeral?
Melissa's funeral.
And sitting here today, can you remember when the funeral was?
Would have been early in the year. I want to say either 2002 or 2003.
Did your Nana ever talk to you about Melissa's parents?
Yes.
If we're talking about 2003,
Mhm.
did Nana speak to you about Melissa's parents before the funeral or after the funeral?
It was on the way to the funeral.
And on the way to the funeral, did you get an understanding of who Melissa's parents were to you?
No, we were told they were bad people and that we didn't want to talk to them.
And who was relaying this information?
Kathy and Nanny.
Now, when you get to the funeral, let me actually strike that. Who all went to the funeral that you can remember?
Kathy, Nanny, me, my brother, Kitty, and Chris.
And did everyone, from what you can remember, want to go to the funeral?
No, ma'am.
Who didn't want to go to the funeral?
Chris and Kathy both didn't want to go.
And this was the funeral of your mother,
Yes, ma'am.
Melissa.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, once you got to the funeral,
Mhm.
strike that, I'm making that inference. Did you get to the funeral?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you got to the funeral, did you see the individuals identified as the Pattons?
Yes, ma'am.
How were you made aware that some people there were the Pattons?
They were sitting on the front row.
And seeing them, was that your first time ever seeing any of the people identified as the Pattons?
I realized I had seen Norma Patton before.
How had you seen Norma Patton previously?
She showed up at Kathy's front yard asking where her daughter was.
So this funeral was in 2003. About how much time before had Norma shown up at Kathy's house looking for her daughter?
It had been about 2 years at that point.
Now, going back to when you used to call her Norma?
Yes.
When Norma showed up at the yard looking for her daughter, can you tell the jury what you remember about that?
Yes, we had just pulled in ourselves, so we were getting out of the car, and another woman pulled up, parked on the road, and got out and was yelling at Kathy, asking where her daughter was.
Deputy hearsay.
This is
You're
safe.
right. I'm not offering for the truth of the matter, sir. I'm offering.
Come here.
Continue. Continue. You need to ask a question?
Please.
Sure. Tell the judge what you recall happening when, this woman appeared at your home.
Yes. Okay, yes, we had just gotten home ourselves. She pulled up and parked on the road and got out of her car and started yelling at Kathy, asking where her daughter was. Kathy said, "I thought she was with you." And she said, "You know she's not with me. She's with Chris."
Were you asked to do anything at that point?
I was told to go inside the house.
And did you all go in the house?
We went right in front of the screen door.
So is it like little kids, you still went to hear?
Yes.
All right, I understand. And you said the we. Who is the we?
Me and my brother Joey.
At that time when this incident occurred, did you know who that lady was?
No.
At that time, did you know that that was your biological grandmother?
No, ma'am.
Did you know who her daughter was, who she was referencing?
No, ma'am.
Did you have any idea the person she was referencing was your mother?
No, ma'am.
And even after that incident, did Kathy ever explain to you who this lady was to you?
No, she said she was confused.
Now, going back to the funeral, now, 2003. Lady said that it was at the funeral that you now made the connection that this lady who's at the funeral is this lady that you had saw a few years prior.
Yes, ma'am.
At the funeral, did you ever have the occasion to speak with that lady?
No.
You said that they were all sitting on the front row.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you speak to any of the people that were sitting on the front row?
Not that I remember.
And I should ask this, were you all in a church, a funeral home, something else we don't remember?
No, it was at the cemetery.
Now, at the time, what was your understanding of the service that was happening?
We were told it was a celebration of life, not an actual funeral. And that the casket was empty.
And was there a casket there?
There was.
At this point, had you started asking questions about this woman you saw in the pictures?
Yes.
What kind of questions were you asking?
That was essentially when we pieced that the woman from the front yard was our grandmother, and the woman she had been talking to was our mom.
And at this point, do you ask Chris or Kathy about your mom?
Yes.
And what's Chris's response when you start asking about your mom?
That she left. She was on her way to California.
And I should ask, is this before the funeral or after the funeral?
This was right after the funeral.
So
We didn't have questions before, sorry.
So even after the funeral and the memorial, is it my understanding that Chris is still telling you that she's left and on her way to California?
Yes, ma'am.
And that although there's a casket, she's not in the casket, she's on her way to California.
Right.
As a child, what were your thoughts about that?
It was very odd. We had been to funerals before, but they weren't exactly like that. Normally there was like a visitation before, and then you went to the cemetery. So it did seem different than other funerals we had been to. But we had never been told that the casket was empty when we went to other funerals.
Now, did there ever come a point where you started trying to find information on your own about your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do?
I went to Google.
And without telling me anything you read, did you begin to find articles?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you began Googling and finding articles, what, if anything, did you do?
That was when I had more questions, first for Kathy and then eventually for Chris.
And did you ask Kathy your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of questions did you ask Kathy?
I would ask questions like, so they had been married because I wasn't sure. I was putting in Melissa Patton when I first tried to Google her and couldn't find stuff. So I would ask Kathy, like, were they married? So her last name was Wolfenbarger. How long had they been married? And she just finishes
Back
in,
to hearsay.
Don't tell me if she responded. Were you
Okay.
able to ever get any answers?
no, ma'am.
Did you then ask Chris about your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
And what, if anything, would he say to you when you began asking Chris?
Object to hearsay.
Your party opponent.
Overruled.
The first time I tried to ask him questions, he didn't say anything at all. He sat in total silence for what felt like an hour.
At any point in time, did he answer any of your questions?
Not until I was about middle school age.
Now, what happened around middle school when you would ask Chris questions?
Chris had a new baby. That's when Alias was born. He had gotten with Crystal and had Alias.
Now, did you ever ask Chris about locations where they may have stayed or where she may have been or anything like that?
Yes, regularly.
Tell the like the type of questions you would ask.
I would ask questions like, where was she staying? Where was she working? Like he would say she would run off. So like, where would she run off to? Never was told a location though.
So when you would ask detailed questions, would he ever be able to provide you detailed answers?
No, ma'am.
And at that time, as you're getting older in middle school, do you still think your mother had just kind of went and ran off to a different place?
Part of me did, yeah.
Now, you said around middle school, did your relationship, prior to this, what was your relationship like with Chris?
We didn't have much of one, to be honest.
Did there ever come a time when you and Chris developed a relationship?
Yes, I would say about 2006.
Can you describe to the jury how did your relationship develop around 2006?
For several years, he had been living down in Savannah and then again in Dublin. So just because of the distance, we wouldn't see him very much. But about 2005, he moved back up towards Henry County and then to Griffin. So we saw him a lot more often.
Now, during this time in 2006, I know you spoke to Chris about your mother. Would you ever still speak to Kathy about your mom now around this 2006 time?
Not as much, just because we knew we wouldn't get information from her.
Now, did you ever live with Chris?
My senior year of high school.
Why did you end up living with Chris?
Wound up fighting with Kathy pretty regularly by the time I was in high school. And so at the time I was 17, I was like, I can figure it out from here. And Chris actually met me at a Waffle House and asked me not to do that, to stay with him until I turned 18.
And did you stay with him until you turned?
I did.
Now, what about Joey? Did Joey move with you and Chris, or did Joey stay with Kathy?
Joey stayed with Kathy then, but did end up moving with Chris after I had moved out.
And when you lived with Chris, who all lived with you?
That was Chris and Crystal. Crystal had Brianna and Alias and me.
And about what year is
Would have been December 2012 to October 2013.
Did 2013?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a young adult or high school, did you ever get into kind of true crime television?
I did.
How did you get to watching true crime television?
I was very interested. There was a rise of true crime shows at that time too, like Law and Order and Criminal Minds and all of that. I was in a criminal justice class in high school, so we would watch some of the episodes during class, and then I would go home and watch more.
And did you ever talk to your dad about some of the shows that you were watching?
We did.
And what would you talk to him about?
Anytime there was a case that just seemed interesting or, like not a typical case, we would talk about it when we were in the car.
And would he ever have any response about what you were telling him about those types of shows?
Yes, there would be times where we would talk about it, and it would be, there was a time in particular where he said that that wasn't the way that they should have done it.
And when you said that was the way that you should have done, explain to me kind of what you said to him, what you remember, and his response.
Okay. Yes, it was a murder case, and the person had been free for several times. Like, it was a very old murder case that he had been found on. And Chris said that that wasn't the way that he should have hid the body to begin with. You go out there when they're about to build a new house and put it under where the foundation of the house is going to go. And so when the crew comes back to lay the foundation the next morning, they're just going to continue building the house.
So was he trying to explain that how you hide a body?
Yes, ma'am.
And when he said that to you, what was your reaction to that?
It caught me off guard at first.
You said at first?
Yes, we were on our way to the gas station, so it was kind of convenient time for him to say it. I could just kind of sit there until he got done pumping gas. And then the conversation resumed after.
Did you ever ask him any questions once he said, this is how you kind of hide the body, you bury it under?
Yes, it was like, it sounds like you're talking about my mom.
That's what you said to him.
Right.
Did he have a reaction?
Yes.
What was that?
That was when he told me that he didn't know where my mom was. He didn't know if she was in heaven, hell, Stockbridge, but he wished that he did.
And when he said he doesn't know if she was in heaven, hell, or Stockbridge, was that now different than her being in California or somewhere else?
Very much so.
Now, did Chris ever talk to you about places to hide?
Places to hide?
Or having places to go to hide?
Not that I know of directly. It would be like through other people.
What do you mean?
Like,
Objected hearsay.
yeah, like through Joey.
Okay,
Thank you.
so he never told you directly?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall ever talking to some law enforcement about kind of conversations with your dad?
I remember talking to a detective in 2021.
And do you recall if you ever talked to them about some of these things that your father would say?
Yes.
Objection.
Mr. McDermott, what's the basis of the objection?
Withdrawn for the moment, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And do you remember talking to them about your father telling you about having places to hide or knowing where to go to have places to hide?
In 2021. I can't recall. I'm sorry.
Or in any kind, how many times do you think you spoke in with law enforcement? And I'm talking about the prosecutors, police.
Several times since 2021. Yes.
you remember in any of those conversations ever telling police that your father would tell you that he had places to hide, or he would know where to go and hide?
Sorry, no, sorry.
Want to Zoom with Mr. Fawcett, Mr. Wilson, and Detective Shepard?
Yes.
And do you remember maybe a phone call in maybe about 2015 with a Sergeant Lakoff, a telephone call?
I did make a phone, yes.
And do you remember maybe another telephone call with a investigator Shepard by himself?
Yes, I did.
And I want to make sure I'm accurate. Is it that today you don't remember having any conversations in any of those scenarios about
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
Chris talking to you about having places to hide?
I'm sorry, can you ask me that one more time? I'm sorry.
No problem. Is it your testimony, I want to make sure I'm clear, that you don't remember in any of those conversations talking to any of those individuals about Chris having a place to hide? Or telling you that
The most that I can remember is him saying he could get away.
okay. What do you remember about that?
Just that he was able to get away.
Is that the only thing he said, or is there more context to that?
I remember like when he got his license in 2013 and he came back home to show us the license, it had his old address on it. And he said during that conversation that when they come looking for me, they'll go to East McIntosh, not Liberty Circle.
And he said when they come looking for me, did he ever talk about the who or the they that they were referring to?
No, ma'am.
Now, I know at the funeral you said that you saw these individuals and knew them to be the Pattons. Did there ever come a point where you actually officially met the Pattons?
Not until I was 19.
What happened when you were 19 when you met the Pattons?
I was on Facebook, and on the People You May Know, I saw my mom's picture and it had her name as if it was her Facebook page. So I clicked on it, and it explained that, we've been fighting for justice. So I messaged the page to be who is we, like who is running this page and who are you? And that's when I was told that it was her family, the Pattons, that have been running the page. And so I introduced myself over Facebook Messenger, and then we set up a time to meet at a Moe's in McDonough.
And when you met at the Moles and McDonough, is that the first time at 19 that you'd ever really met the Pattons?
Right.
Who all was at that meeting?
And that meeting was Norma Patton, Tina Patton, her son, JC, and her daughter, Kimberly.
Whose son and daughter is Jason?
Tina Patton.
And at that point, did you recognize anyone of those individuals?
Yes.
Who did you recognize?
I recognized Norma from her car in the parking lot. It was the same car.
The same car from when?
From when she stopped out front of Kathy's house, from the funeral, it had been the same car the whole time.
And about what year is this that you're 19?
That would have been 2014.
So she had the same car in 2003.
Yes.
Hold on to the car. And when you met the Patton family, did they talk to you about your mother and who she was?
Yes.
Since meeting the Patton family, what is your relationship like?
We met frequently. I moved to Valdosta shortly after that and spent 5 years there. And then I came back back up to Conyers in 2020. So that was over COVID. We didn't see each other that much then either. But
And now, do you even live in the state of Georgia?
no, ma'am, I'm in Tennessee.
And at this point in your life, how often do you see the Patton family?
Not often.
Is it fair to say that this week you've seen them multiple times?
Right, aside from this week.
Prior to this week, when was the last time you think you saw the Pattons?
It's been at least a year.
Prior to this, when was the last time you spoke to anyone in the Patton family?
Last would have spoke to Norma Patton, and that would have been several months ago.
And out of everyone, Norma, Tina, your cousins, who do you speak with the most?
Norma Patton.
What is your relationship like with your brother, Joey?
I haven't talked to him in several years either.
To your knowledge, who is Joey living with?
Kathy.
Do you have any knowledge of Joey's relationship with the Pattons?
I don't think he has one.
Now, when I first asked about Joey, to your knowledge, what is Joey's relationship like with the Wolfenbargers?
As far as I know, he still talks to him.
He still lives with Kathy.
Jack's leading.
As far as I know.
Sustained.
And does he still live with Kathy?
As far as I know.
When is the last time you spoke to Kathy?
2017, maybe?
Do you have a relationship at all with any other Wolfenbargers?
No, ma'am.
Just time-wise, when is the last time you spoke to Chris?
2013. I think I saw him once in 2017.
And you have a current relationship with Chris?
No, ma'am.
Yes, and don't touch that moment.
Sure.
No further questions.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to take a quick break, just that afternoon break, 10 minutes or so. Try and get back in here as close to 3:45 as we can. So the jury's excused for 10 minutes. Thank you.
All right, the jury.
Ma'am, you may step down until we call you back, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
You get me? So I'm sure we don't have that much TiVo time, right? But oh my goodness, can somebody draw a diagram? I'm pretty sure it's some incest going on in this. I'm like, wait a minute. Somebody just slept with somebody's family member. It sounds like it might be some incest or something going on. Like everybody at the Waffle House, don't nobody know who is who. Everybody extra, like she's not talking to nobody in the entire family. Like, and I can almost see why Kathy, remember, you know, Kathy, Melissa gave custody of her kids to Kathy, right? So then after Melissa left for whatever, you know, whatever happened to her, you know, well, we know she didn't just leave, right? So after she disappeared, Kathy had custody of the kids. That's why the mom was like, when they left out of court that one day, when Melissa was like, she went and talked to Chris and they dropped the charges and stuff, the kids went with Kathy, right? So this is well before she disappeared or, you know, left. But what weird dynamics. Like, I could see why Kathy was trying to keep her away from the Pattons, right? She had custody. There was some inkling that Melissa didn't want her parents, right? She didn't want, because typically a maternal grandmother would take the kids from with the maternal daughter versus to the paternal, right? It's usually not the dad's side that keep the kid, especially if your mother is, available. So I believe mom, they were too busy out here unaliving people. Right? I mean, just think about all the context of this. And that's what they were busy doing. Yeah, she wanted to put her on some birth control. And as soon as you tell somebody, a girl, that she can't be with her boy, her boo thing, it causes all types of problems. So no matter what you was gonna try to do, she was gonna be right over there with Chris and Kathy. Kathy, like, I don't care. Because typically most guys' moms don't care. Like, all right. Then we got the Waffle House manager that's all intertwined in this. And we know the sister was working at Waffle House. So it was a family deal thing. Chris was working with the dad. Don't forget that. Because remember, they talked about their rooftop discussions. I don't know who did what. But I can kind of make sense of why Kathy was like, when the daughter started asking so many questions, trying to hide that truth from her. Now, why is her and her brother estranged right now? Why are they not talking? I am totally confused. I can even understand why she not messing with Kathy like that. Like, Kathy, you deceived me. You had me thinking one thing, it's something totally different. But what's the deal with her brother? Because he an adult now too. So I'm really like, who did what, when, where, and why? Please show us the diagram that y'all have. I don't know why we couldn't look at the diagram when she was pointing these people out with a photo so I could understand exactly what's going on in this mess. Right? Like, even when hi, Ola. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Where you been hiding out at? I think they may call the brother up. I think they may. I think they even may call Kathy up. Maybe the defense will bring those people up, right? Because they seem like they may be more in the father's corner. Oh, you say lurking. I know that feeling. It'd be like that. But what is going on? I'm really confused. And you would think that there would have been something to this tells you how strange this is. After your daughter goes missing, right? You think that the father has some involvement with it, right? You don't go try to fight for custody of your grandkids. You don't try to get that overturned. You don't try to take any motions. I'm not saying that we have anything. I'm not saying that we don't have anything in regards to that, because maybe it just didn't come into the trial, but I'm just so surprised that even when they came to the funeral in 2003, right? Chris and his mom, she stated that they didn't even want to attend the funeral, but they really did. I guess they could have not wanted to attend the funeral because they were still trying to protect the kids from knowing the other side of that dangerous family. Because remember, dad was arrested very shortly after for all his unalivings. Right? And he was unaliving family members, guys. So if you knew about his secret, what if Melissa knew about his secret? So I just got to see what other stuff besides this DV that they're trying to bring into this trial that makes sense to me to point towards Chris, guys. Yeah, but yeah, Pretty Brown, and she could have took offense to Melissa doing that, right? But even yet and still, your daughter is missing. The next piece to the puzzle is you want to be with your grandkids, right? And fight that off. But no, she couldn't, Pretty Brown, because her husband was too busy unaliving folks until they got caught in 2003. So from 1998 1997 when the kids were sent to be with grandma, the paternal grandma, right? That's because Melissa wasn't, they want to act like Melissa and her mom had this great relationship, but there is no way, in no shape, form, or fashion, if I'm writing letters to my mom, I'm always calling her, we're always visiting, we always talking. It's no way that the paternal dad's parents is gonna get my kids. It's just no way. It don't make sense to me. It just don't. Thank you so much. If you received that membership from Film Freak, you know what you must say. You are in the drama docket. Thank you, Film. He's so awesome. I see the judge. She back on the bench. She not completely dressed yet, but she will be, I guess, soon. Thank you so much, Film. And whoever received that membership, you make sure you say thank you. Yeah, so I want us to be real careful and let's think about some ideas in regards to this case because I really don't know. And if y'all see some evidence out there that really points to Chris, besides it being close to his work location, because if Dad knew where he worked at, I mean, you know, they were really good at unaliving people and getting rid of their bodies, right? To a certain degree, at least they thought they were good. I mean, we got unalived babies being caught by teens in the house. Like, what is going on? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's a good point that you're making, Baka. You know, like the parents, that wasn't a good place for them, for the kids. And maybe Melissa has some inkling, right? Because she's the one that found the baby. And whose baby was it? I don't know. This whole case is disturbing. You know, we done went from one disturbing trial to another disturbing trial. In all honesty, like all the way disturbing. With all the players, like need a chart, like you right, OnlyFans. Like what? It was the sister's baby. Like, where do they do that at? Like, did they unalive the baby or did she have a miscarriage or what happened? And why was the baby just in the garbage? And who got charged for that? Somebody should have got charged for that, right? Or did I miss it? You know, I can miss it because I can miss some stuff. I have to go back and rewatch a lot of things, but I don't know. This is definitely strange. But I can see why his family, with them having custody, why they were trying to protect the kids. I mean, he had other people helping him doing these unaliveds, and as soon as they said that they was gonna say something or he thought they was gonna snitch, he unalived them. Boy, oh boy, him and the wife playing tag team. It is all of too much in this trial. Pretty Brown said, I'm gonna have to go back and take some notes. Right? And while the Waffle House manager got up there and just lied, like, I have no clue. I have no clue why his story is changing. But they back from break. I'm gonna put us back in the courtroom. Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad that she, at first I was like, well, why are they bringing her up? She was only 5 when this happened. She was 3 when her mom went missing. But I guess it's all the events that took place afterward. So we will see.
Nothing from the state farm.
Nothing from the defense.
Okay, we're ready for the jury.
All rise for the jury.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Mr. McDermott, questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Christina,
Yes, sir.
you said you're 30 years old now?
I am.
Oh, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
And you live in Nashville?
South in Nashville.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you went to college in Valdosta?
I did.
What degree did you get?
I didn't.
Oh,
Got a Mrs. degree.
uh-oh. An MRS degree, right? I've heard about those.
Yes.
Where do you work currently?
I don't.
Okay. Fair enough. You talked about going to your mother's funeral,
Mhm.
and did you say that you saw the Patton family there?
Just saw them sitting in chairs.
And you didn't know who they were at the time?
No, I mean, I recognized the Norma Patton from the front yard, but I didn't know who was sitting beside her or anything about them.
And did you say that you had asked Kathy who these people were?
Right.
And she responded?
They're bad people. You don't want anything to do with them.
And knowing what you know now, looking back,
Mhm.
didn't they have a good reason to say something like that?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained. You can rephrase.
Thank you. You are aware that the Patton family in
I am.
2003 had confessed to, or at least Carl Patton had confessed to killing 5 people,
Yes.
and that Norma had helped with a couple of those.
Yes.
So, and that was public knowledge before the funeral.
I didn't find out until I started Googling, but I
you know
Googled
that.
them too. Yes,
You do know that now.
I do.
Okay. So do you think that the Christopher's family had a good reason for saying that?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
You can answer the question.
Okay. I don't think that they said it for no reason. Yes, I think there was reasons for them saying that.
You said that when you were living at Kathy's house,
Mm.
somewhere around your age 8 or so,
Right,
you recall these pictures coming down.
right.
Your Honor, I have a self-authenticating document here. Do I need to get you to clear it first?
Yeah, why don't y'all both come up and show me what you're talking about? So yeah, my understanding is, I think it would be helpful. I understand you've represented that it's self-authenticating, but if you'll just give a general statement of what it is, and then Ms. Hilton can put any objection she has on the record.
So I have a copy of the application for divorce and the court's order granting a divorce to Christopher Wolfenbarger from Melissa Wolfenbarger in the year 2002 in the Superior Court of Liberty County.
Any objection, Ms. Hilton?
No, just what's the defense exhibit number?
What's the number?
I believe it's 7.
Okay, defense 7 is admitted. Go ahead, sir.
You said this is from 2002?
I'm showing you the document now.
Okay.
And you can, I should have highlighted it to make it easier. But can you read the file stamp date on that, please?
Filed, it looks like, I can't tell the county that it says, but it says filed county clerk office, the 2nd of January 22.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
So this was January 22nd of 2002, correct?
Yes,
And you would have been about 7 years old
correct.
when this happened. So the pictures were coming down in Kathy Wolfenbarger's house roughly around the time
Around
Christopher
that same time.
had completed his divorce.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions for this witness.
Thank you. Ms. Hilton, anything else for this witness?
Nothing from the State Department.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You may sit down.
Thank you.
And the witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.